G'day, 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 g'day. Welcome back to Canadian Freedom. Right? And we have the right to know where our tax dollars go. For example, the $1.5 billion a year we give to the CBC to give us the news, that unbiased, fair media. Right. So let's get right into the story today. Catherine Tate, CEO, CBC, called back to committee again to talk about bonuses for, all the execs and board of directors. If you remember, I think it was late November, early December, they decided they were going to lay off up to 600 people at CBC across radio, TV, and their platforms. And then the story broke that nobody would be losing out on their bonuses. We'll get into the specifics of their bonus. But let's hear my hero of the day, Rachel Thomas. She's the Shadow Minister for Canadian Heritage. Grill Miss Tate on bonuses this year for the execs and herself at CBC.
So to the question of performance pay, as I have said in my remarks, the performance pay is a critical part of total compensation.
My question was just whether or not you would be giving it. Will you be giving bonuses to executives?
My response to that question is to say that we have a process.
The response to the question should be yes or no. If there's nothing to hide, you would say, yes, we are, or no, we're not. She's a typical liberal. They just think they can use our money to do whatever. Like it comes from their own pocket. Like this is their money to do with what they want. I guarantee you when she leaves, she's got a spot, just like all those other cronies in his cabinet and in the party that's come from the CBC. She'll probably get Minister of Finance. Sorry, let's listen to her try to answer the question.
A rigorous process. It is not my decision to award performance pay. It is, in fact, the decision of the board of directors, and that decision comes at the end of the fiscal year. We have another 2 months before we reach the end of the fiscal year, and as I have...
Sorry, I hate to stop. So it's the decision to give her and the board of directors themselves their bonuses? Interesting.
Also said in public, everything is on the table. So we will see at the end of fiscal year, based on results and where we are financially.
So as a CEO, you do not make the decision. You have no say in whether or not bonuses are granted.
All of the management team measures and analyzes our results on an annual basis, which are published very clearly in our
CEO,
in the quarterly
you have no
reports.
say in whether or not bonuses are given.
All of the management team presents to the board of directors the results of our year against KPIs, key performance indicators that have been tracked throughout the year, and based on the analysis and the results, the board of directors makes its decision. I should just point out, perhaps of interest, for example, last year, we did not meet 2 of our KPIs, and our bonus level
I'll go to my
was
next
reduced.
question now. I realize that you'll do your best to talk out the clock, so I'll just kind of keep us going along here. My next question is this. Those KPIs, would you table those with this committee?
They're public in our annual report.
Perfect. Thank you. Based on the metrics that are used then, last year, you gave out $16 million in taxpayer-funded bonuses to the staff. That was
$16 million. It's ridiculous. So the $16 million bonus. First off, nobody really watches CBC anymore. It's been dropping like a stone. Radio dropping like a stone. You know, they if you want full access to some of their news online, I think you have to pay for it. I mean, it's a crumbling company. It's plus we know the bias is so obvious. It's, you know, left-wing propaganda wing of the Liberal Party. But the fact that she's so obviously, you know, tiptoeing around the question. You're the CEO. Just answer the question. She should be made to answer the question. That's our money. We're not asking you private questions about a private company you own. You know, $1.5 billion a year comes from our pocket. There's another, I don't know, $900 million, something like that comes from advertising. So, like the opposition here, like the people, they should have all their advertisers sitting there as well, saying, hey, we're giving you all this money. Well, why are you paying your top people these giant bonuses when you're, like she said, 2 KPIs, those are indicators on how well they're doing, you know, have been falling. It's been declining every single year. Craziness.
An average of $14,000 to staff members at the CBC. Most Canadians don't even see half of that in a bonus, not even a quarter of that in a yearly bonus. $14,000 was the average amount that was given to CBC staff. What were the metrics that were used in order to determine that bonus amount?
So again,
and again, she said $14,000 if you were to dish it out evenly to all the employees. But I've heard it's only upper management, senior management that get all the bonuses. So, you know, the people at the bottom, who knows what they're getting. I'm going to assume it's not $14,000.
KPIs are published, and they're very clearly have to do with performance of the service. For example, digital reach. For example, engagement with news in the regions. For example, performance on engagement with...
There should be a KPI of unbiased news. Then they never make any money.
Kids and children. All of those are published very clearly in our annual report. And I actually want to, if I may I ask? I think your number is wrong. If I want to correct the record.
I would just highlight for you that it's interesting to me because you're saying that these are the metrics, but actually the viewership of the CBC is cut in half since you took leadership in 2018. It's come down by half. So it's interesting to me that you're giving bonuses or performance awards when, in fact, the CBC is performing the poorest it's ever performed. So bonuses keep going up. They keep skyrocketing. But performance, as you say the bonuses are granted based on,
I really, if I may, Madam Chair, I'd like to correct the record. If I may correct the record.
Ms. Tate, my question for you, for 2023, will you be given a bonus?
I would like to correct the record, if I may, Madam Chair.
Deflect. Will you be given an award? I mean, she's trying to talk out the clock and do anything but answer the questions.
First of all, I don't believe the number was 16 million in last year. I'm going to ask Marco Dubé, who manages the people and culture at our company, to correct the error that the member has stated.
Sorry, Madam Chair, through you, I do have a question on the table, and that is, Ms. Tate, for 2023, will you be given a bonus?
I'm going to come back to your question after.
No. You don't get to correct things. This is committee. You come here, we ask questions, you answer. That's it. It's not a conversation. You answer questions.
The record.
Madam Chair, I would ask you, through you, Madam Chair, the witness knows that her instructions here are to answer the questions that have been given.
We have 27
She can correct the
seconds.
record by sending in a written notice if she wishes.
You can do that, Ms. Tate. You've gone over time.
Holy jeez. Madam Chair. Did you just roll out of bed?
My time has been interrupted numerous times because the witness doesn't want to answer my question. It's very simple. Will she be given a bonus in 2020?
It's not my decision whether I get a bonus or not. Let's just be clear.
Thank you.
Yeah. So that was interesting. Obviously, deflect. National Observer wrote an article today, following up that testimony. It was a 2 hour long question period of Miss Tate. I like the comments here. Talib Noor Mohammed, Parliamentary Secretary to the Heritage Minister, Rachel Thomas, said Tate that some of her responses during her 2 hour testimony came off as callous and cold to the public. Definitely did. I don't know about you. You let me know. She doesn't seem to care that they just waste away our money. She's a typical liberal that just thinks all that money is there for them to use however they want. And she follows that with what people heard you say is it doesn't matter, cuts are happening, we're still giving bonus. That's what he said. I can understand people's concerns. Of course I can, Tate said. But she said the $15 million in bonuses handed out last year is small compared to the public broadcasters' $950 million payroll. Interesting. In 2022 and 23 fiscal year, CBC Radio Canada's annual report shows it received nearly $1.3 billion in government funding, with another $515 million coming through other revenue such as advertising. Despite this, public broadcaster faces chronic underfunding, said Tate. Maybe if you cut down on the bonuses, there's some money to save. And how about number one, have some unbiased news. You know, if you actually had news that catered to all Canadians, you know, unbiased news, just report real facts and what people want to hear, then you wouldn't have the problem. You wouldn't have had viewership cut in half since you took over. Oh, man. You know, and let's take a look at bonuses over the last few years. This is interesting too. Since 2015, CBC management has dished out almost $185 million in bonuses and pay raises for an average of $23 million per year. That includes $80 million in bonuses and raises since the onset of the pandemic. So again, when he said calloused and cold, there it is. When she says that $15 million is nothing compared to the payroll, that's the liberal mindset. That $15 million, we throw it everywhere. That's just small numbers. You know, we should be getting even more. 2015 raises almost $8 million, bonuses almost $8.3 million, combined over $16 million. Just a little bit more than that, 2016, then goes up 2017 to $19 million. 2018 jumps all the way to $27 million. 2019 back to $25 million. And then we had COVID. So all of Canada were, taking layoffs. It was pretty tough for a lot of Canadians during COVID. Looks like everyone still got all their raises and probably the highest bonuses they've ever gotten. Interesting. Yeah. All that money in tax we still had to pay. They're dishing out a lot of that in bonuses, and that's really interesting. I don't know. I guess the moral of the story, or what I'm getting at, is either we gotta drop the CBC and let them do it on their own, and then that would force them to make better news to get viewership. One. Two, if we are going to still subsidize the CBC, there has to be some kind of government oversight. But I'm more inclined to say option one. Better news, let them do it on their own, get their own advertising dollars, and figure it out, just like any other media. I mean, most people now are getting news online, many different sources, and that might even open the playing field to for independent news to grab other more people if they're going to leave CBC and venture out looking for more news. That's my take. I don't know what your take is, but Miss Tate, Catherine Tate, has backed herself into this corner with this ridiculous bonus scheme. And again, she's just a typical liberal using our money as a personal piggy bank. Thanks for joining me on Canadian Freedom Right. Let me know what you think below. Like, subscribe, share, anything you can do to help the little guy out, fight the CRTC algorithm, and have a good day. We'll see you next time. Bye now.